Everything you desire is already at your disposal. It might seem like a lie, but the truth is that a strong belief can completely transform your reality. Forget the law of attraction. Neville Goddard's law of assumption reveals an even more powerful and counterintuitive secret. In this video, you will discover how assuming your desires as already fulfilled can bring rapid and incredible rewards. Want to know how to change your life in a surprising way? Stay with us until the end. You have the power to transform your reality. It sounds like science fiction, right? But what if I told you there is a method, developed almost a century ago, that can help you do just that? Neville Goddard was born in 1905 on the island of Barbados, and throughout his life became an influential figure in New Thought philosophy. He was not just an author, he was a visionary who saw beyond what the eyes could perceive. His teachings revolved around the idea that our thoughts are dynamic and powerful forces. For Neville, the mind was not just a repository of memories and ideas, but a tool capable of altering the very fabric of reality. The concept might seem abstract, but Goddard had a practical and accessible approach. He taught that by controlling our thoughts and visualizing our intentions clearly, we can literally transform the world around us. According to him, imagination is the key. If you can vividly and emotionally imagine something, you can bring it into existence. Neville Goddard proposed a methodology that stands out for its simplicity and effectiveness. He believed that the act of imagining something repeatedly and with conviction paves the way for its manifestation. It's not just about thinking positively or having vague hopes. It's a conscious practice of visualization, where every detail must be felt as if it were already real. This is the essence of Neville's secret project. One of the most famous examples of his teachings is the story of a man who wanted to change his financial situation. Neville instructed him to imagine himself closing a big contract, feeling the excitement and joy of that achievement. This man followed the advice faithfully, dedicating himself to this visualization every day. Over time, his reality changed to reflect his visualizations, and he achieved the financial success he sought. Goddard's proposal is fascinating because it doesn't depend on external factors. It's not necessary to change the environment or wait for miraculous opportunities. The power lies within us, in how we think and feel. For Neville, each person is a creator of their own life experience, and the key to this power is in consciousness and imagination. The law of assumption states that what we assume to be true in our mind inevitably manifests in our life experience. In other words, our thoughts and beliefs are not just passive reflections of our reality, they are active forces that shape and create that reality. If you deeply believe in something and hold it in your mind with clarity and certainty, the universe conspires to turn that belief into a tangible reality. Neville Goddard emphasized the importance of vivid imagination and sensory immersion in the desired experiences. For him, it was not enough to just think positively or hope for the best. It was essential to feel with all senses that the desire was already a reality. For example, if you want a new job, you should imagine yourself already working in that job, feeling the satisfaction, joy, and fulfillment as if you were already living that experience. This practice of visualization is not a mere mental exercise. It requires deep emotional involvement. When you imagine yourself in the desired state with clarity and intensity, you create a bridge between your inner world and the outer world. This alignment is the driving force that makes your inner visions align with your external circumstances. The law of assumption can be applied to any area of life: health, relationships, finances, personal growth. The secret is to assume that the desire is already a done deal, rather than an uncertain future. This shift in perspective creates a new reality in which your desires begin to manifest naturally and organically. Think of someone who wants to improve their health. Instead of focusing on the illness or symptoms, this person begins to imagine living a healthy life. They feel the energy, vitality, and joy of being completely well. Over time, this new internal vision begins to influence their actions, choices, and finally their physical reality. Thoughts of health and well-being begin to reflect in their body and lifestyle. But why is sensory immersion so important? Because the brain does not distinguish between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. When you fully engage in the visualization of your desires, your brain believes that this is your reality. This triggers a series of psychological and physical reactions that align your circumstances with your inner visions. So, how to apply the law of assumption in your life? The key is simple but powerful. Assume the fulfillment of your desires as if they were already true. It seems simple, but it involves a deep change in the way you think and feel. When you desire something, the natural tendency is to think of it as a possible future. But according to the law of assumption, you must act as if this desire has already been realized. For example, if you desire more prosperity, you should start feeling prosperous now, thinking like someone who has already achieved that prosperity. This means visualizing the details of this prosperous life, feeling financial security, freedom, and the joy that comes with it. This practice of imagination is not passive, it is an active immersion in an alternative reality. When you fully engage in this visualization, you create an energy field that begins to attract events, people, and circumstances that reflect this new reality. It's like tuning a radio station. By adjusting the frequency of your thoughts and feelings, you start to capture the corresponding reality. Imagination, accompanied by deep and unwavering belief, is the engine of this transformation. Neville Goddard emphasized that faith is essential. It's not just believing superficially, but having an inner certainty that what you imagine is real. This deep belief creates a series of events and synchronicities that lead to the manifestation of your desires. Imagine a person who wants to find the love of their life. According to the law of assumption, this person must start seeing themselves in a loving and happy relationship, feeling the presence of their partner, imagining the moments of affection and companionship. Over time, this constant visualization and belief in its realization create circumstances that attract this special person into their life. They might meet someone at a party, through a mutual friend, or even unexpectedly in an everyday place like a supermarket. This concept is not new. It resonates with ancient occult sciences and esoteric practices that recognize the power of the mind and intention. Esoteric traditions have always believed that the universe is malleable and that human consciousness can influence reality. This principle is seen in practices of magic, alchemy, and other occult arts, where intention and visualization are used to create changes in the material world. Historical figures like Jesus also recognized this power. When Jesus said, "Be it done according to your faith," he was pointing to this same truth. The deep and unwavering belief in something is what brings it to reality. Jesus taught that true faith can move mountains, and this faith is the foundation of the law of assumption. The practice of the law of assumption requires discipline and consistency. It's not a one-time practice, but a continuous state of being. It's living daily with the certainty that your desires are already a reality. This means maintaining a positive and confident attitude regardless of external circumstances. It is this perseverance that transforms imagination into reality. So, how to start practicing the law of assumption? Set aside time every day to visualize your desires fulfilled. Create a clear and vivid mental image of what you want. Feel the emotions associated with this fulfillment: joy, gratitude, satisfaction. Keep this vision with you throughout the day and act as if it were already real. Over time, you will see how your life begins to transform, reflecting your deepest desires. The law of assumption reminds us that we are the architects of our reality. Our beliefs and imaginations are the tools with which we shape our world. The thoughts and beliefs we nurture have immense power over our lives. They not only influence our emotions, but also shape our actions, and consequently our realities. You have certainly seen a person who assumes the belief that they are confident and successful. This belief does not stay confined to the mind. It is reflected in the decisions this person makes and the way they behave. Someone who sees themselves as confident tends to take calculated risks, present themselves assertively, and approach challenges with a positive attitude. These actions, in turn, increase the chances of success. It is a virtuous cycle. The belief in confidence and success leads to behaviors that generate more confidence and success. Think of an entrepreneur who firmly believes in the success of their business. This belief influences their decisions from the start. They might be more willing to invest in marketing, seek strategic partners, and innovate in their product or service. Their confidence infects their team, who also start believing in the company's success. Customers and investors, noticing this confidence, are more inclined to support the business. Thus, the belief in success creates an environment conducive to success. Now, let's see the opposite. Imagine a person who assumes the belief that they are destined to fail. This belief, like confidence, does not remain just at the mental level. It translates into constant doubts, fear of making decisions, and a resigned attitude. The person might hesitate to seize opportunities, avoid challenges, and even sabotage their own chances of success. The fear of failure creates a vicious cycle, where the expectation of failure leads to behaviors that practically guarantee failure. For example, a student who believes they will never pass an important exam. This belief affects their preparation. They might procrastinate, study in a disorganized manner, and even avoid asking for help because they think it is not worth it. On the day of the exam, anxiety takes over, affecting their performance. The belief in failure became a self-fulfilling prophecy. This does not mean that simply believing in success guarantees success, or that believing in failure guarantees failure. There are many factors at play, but our beliefs and thoughts are powerful drivers that direct our behaviors and consequently shape our realities. This is why the law of assumption, taught by Neville Goddard, is so powerful. By assuming that our desires are already reality, we align our actions with that belief, creating a clearer path for the manifestation of those desires. When we believe in our ability to achieve our goals, we act with confidence, persistence, and creativity. This, in turn, places us in situations and connects us with people who help make our desires a reality. On the other hand, when we believe we are not capable or deserving of achieving our goals, we close ourselves off to opportunities, doubt our abilities, and settle for less than we could achieve. The good news is that we can change our beliefs. By becoming aware of our thought patterns, we can start replacing them with more positive and empowering beliefs. A simple but effective exercise is the practice of self-affirmation. Daily, affirm to yourself your qualities, abilities, and desires as if they were already true. Say out loud, "I am confident. I am successful. I deserve all the good things that life has to offer." Over time, these affirmations start reprogramming your mind, creating new beliefs that positively influence your actions and results. Have you ever wondered how emotions and visualization can accelerate the achievement of your desires? The answer lies in emotional alignment and the ability to visualize your goals as if they were already achieved. This process not only reinforces the subconscious mind, but also influences your behaviors to align with the beliefs you have chosen. The first step to using the power of emotional alignment is understanding the importance of emotions. Emotions are like the fuel that drives our thoughts. When you feel positive emotions about your goals, you're creating a powerful energy that moves you in the direction of those goals. Feeling joy, gratitude, and enthusiasm when thinking about your already realized desires sends a clear message to your subconscious that these goals are important and real. If you are seeking a promotion at work, instead of just wishing for that promotion, visualize yourself having already received the recognition. Feel the emotion of the achievement, the satisfaction of knowing your effort was rewarded, and the joy of sharing this news with your loved ones. The more vivid and detailed this visualization, the more real it will become for your subconscious mind. Detailed visualization is a powerful technique emphasized by Neville Goddard. When you imagine yourself in the desired state, include all possible details. If you desire a new house, don't just visualize the facade. Imagine yourself walking through each room, feeling the texture of the furniture, hearing the sounds of the environment, and even smelling the aromas that would be part of this new reality. Each detail adds a layer of realism to your visualization, making it more effective. This visualization process is not just a mental exercise. It has a profound impact on the subconscious mind, which does not distinguish between vivid imagination and reality. When you visualize your goals with details and align emotionally with them, you are essentially programming your mind to accept these goals as accomplished facts. The subconscious mind starts working in the background to find ways to bring these goals into reality. Moreover, emotional alignment and visualization directly influence your behaviors. When you deeply believe in your goals and feel that they have already been achieved, your actions start reflecting that belief. You become more proactive, confident, and persistent. Your decisions are guided by the certainty that you are on the right path, which increases your chances of success. Emotional alignment and visualization also have a synergistic effect. When you visualize your goals, you generate positive emotions that, in turn, make the visualization more powerful. This positive cycle strengthens your beliefs and actions, creating a cascade effect that transforms your reality. To incorporate this practice into your daily routine, set aside a few minutes every day to visualize your goals and emotionally align with them. Do this in a quiet place where you can concentrate without distractions. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let your mind paint a clear and detailed picture of your already realized desires. Feel the emotion that comes with this fulfillment and maintain this feeling for as long as possible. Over time, this practice will become second nature. You will notice that your beliefs are strengthened and your actions align more and more with your goals. The power of emotional alignment and visualization will help transform your aspirations into reality, positively influencing your life in all areas. Have you ever thought about how our beliefs, when consistently and strongly held, start reflecting in the world around us? This phenomenon is known as gradual manifestation. It is the process by which assumed beliefs, over time, gain strength and start manifesting in external reality. The concept of gradual manifestation suggests that reality does not change from one moment to the next. Instead, it transforms slowly as our deep beliefs and thoughts become more rooted. When we start adopting a new belief, it may seem like nothing is happening, but with patience and persistence, we start noticing small changes. These changes are signs that our beliefs are beginning to take shape in the real world. Let's imagine you decided to assume the belief that you are a healthy and fit person. In the first days, it may be hard to see any difference. You might still feel tired or notice the same symptoms as before. However, as you maintain this belief, your behavior starts to change. You may feel a growing motivation to make healthier choices, like eating better and exercising regularly. Over time, these behaviors result in improvements in your health, confirming and reinforcing the initial belief. As assumed beliefs become stronger, they start to influence not only your behavior, but also how you perceive the world. Perception is a powerful filter through which we see and interpret everything around us. When our beliefs change, our filter also changes, and we start to notice opportunities and possibilities that previously went unnoticed. For example, if you firmly believe you are successful in your career, you will start noticing opportunities that you might have ignored before. It could be a casual conversation leading to a new partnership, or an apparently small project opening doors to bigger advancements. These opportunities were always there, but your new belief makes them more evident and accessible. This process can create a domino effect. Initial small changes accumulate and amplify over time, leading to major transformations. Think of the belief as a seed planted in your mind. At first, it may not seem like much, but with constant care, watering with positive thoughts and nurturing with visualizations, this seed grows and blooms, changing the entire landscape around you. Another important aspect of gradual manifestation is resilience. Maintaining a strong belief, even when external evidence does not yet reflect it, requires faith and persistence. There will be moments when you might doubt or feel that nothing is happening. It is in these moments that the constant practice of visualization and emotional alignment becomes crucial. Continuing to believe and act according to your beliefs, despite challenges, is what eventually leads to manifestation. You have probably heard of the law of attraction, a concept popularized by books and films that suggest we can attract what we intensely think about. But did you know there is a subtle yet significant difference between the law of attraction and the law of assumption? The law of attraction is based on the idea that like attracts like. If you think positively and focus on what you desire, those things will be attracted to your life. Essentially, the law of attraction involves sending a frequency to the universe through your thoughts and feelings, and the universe responds by bringing back what is on the same frequency to you. For example, if you desire more financial abundance, the law of attraction suggests that you maintain thoughts and feelings of abundance. Practicing gratitude for what you already have and visualizing your life with more money will attract more wealth opportunities. However, the law of attraction often leaves a pending question: how to consistently maintain this positive state, especially when external reality does not yet reflect your desires. This is where the law of assumption, taught by Neville Goddard, offers a more direct and powerful path. The law of assumption is not just about attracting what you think about, but about assuming that your desire is already a present reality. Instead of sending requests to the universe and waiting for a response, the law of assumption suggests that you must incorporate the desired reality into your own being now. The fundamental difference lies in the starting point. The law of attraction begins with the premise that you desire something outside of yourself and need to attract it into your life. The law of assumption, on the other hand, begins with the premise that everything you desire is already within you. You do not attract. You assume that the desire has already been fulfilled. This is a powerful difference because it changes how you relate to your desires. When you practice the law of assumption, you are essentially living in the reality you want to create. This means feeling the emotions, having the thoughts, and adopting the behaviors you would have if your desire were already a consummated fact. If you desire to be healthy, you do not just think about health but assume the identity of a healthy person. You feel the energy, vitality, and confidence of someone who already possesses the health you desire. One of the great benefits of the law of assumption is that it creates an immediate internal change. By assuming that your desires are already reality, you align your mind and emotions with this new reality. This creates an internal congruence that facilitates external manifestation. It is not just about attracting something into your life, but about transforming your identity and your perception of yourself. Suppose you desire to find true love. By the law of attraction, you would focus on thoughts and feelings of love, visualizing a happy relationship and practicing gratitude for the love that already exists in your life. However, there might still be a sense of lack or waiting, as if the love is somewhere out there waiting to be attracted. With the law of assumption, you begin living as if you are already in a loving relationship. You feel the joy, security, and connection of being with a loved one. You fully assume this identity, allowing this feeling of love to fill your being. By doing this, you are not waiting for love. You are already living this reality, which creates a state of being that naturally attracts experiences reflecting this new identity. Another unique benefit of the law of assumption is that it can help overcome internal doubts and resistances. When you assume that your desire is already a reality, there is no room for doubt. You are living this truth now, which strengthens your faith and persistence. This can be especially useful in situations where the desired results seem distant or unlikely. Therefore, while the law of attraction focuses on attracting what you desire, the law of assumption focuses on living as if you have already achieved your desires. Both have their merits, but the law of assumption offers a more direct path to personal transformation and the manifestation of your goals. And if you want to learn a step-by-step method to achieve prosperity based on the universal laws of Hermes Trismegistus, take a look at the pinned comment. Subscribe to the channel and enjoy the video currently playing on the screen.